I'm Sheriff Jason Mikesell. I'm with the Teller County Sheriff. Sorry how I'm dressed tonight. This caught me a little off guard and I had to rush here from home. So I'll kind of explain what's going on. The fire that we are dealing with is called the Highland Lakes Fire. This fire now is approximately 90 acres. It's threatening right around 700 homes at a cost of those homes being threatened at over $300 million at this point. So these are a lot of folks that are being evacuated from their residences. We've closed off the subdivisions and evacuated them of Highland Lakes, Golden Bell, Aspen Valley, Broken Wheel, Aspen Village, Cedar Mountain North to Golden Bell, Snow Hill, Wayward Wind, Beaver Lake Circle, and Place. So right now we have multiple fire units on scene. Divide Fire. Chief McLeod from Divide Fire is actually the command for the fire right now in operations. The state is involved at this point. We have Netco Fire Department, Victor Fire Department, Divide, Green Mountain Falls, Mountain Communities, 4 Mile, Florissant, Cripple Creek Fire, Lake George, and El Paso Wildland Fires, along with Tava crew from the state responding. So right now the fire is not as active as it was when the sun was out, so it has died down a little bit, but we are still dealing with a lot of active fire. So right now those crews are trying to get in front of it and get it slowed down. We have set up a location for people to go, which is going to be the Woodland Park Community Church. That will be the evacuation location, so if people want to go there. Right now, it's dealing with our firefighters who are doing a great job. We did lose one structure, one home, and right now we're dealing with the possibility that we may lose more. So my hope is that the fire departments can still continue to do great structural protection, because that's what they're doing right now, and really getting after the fire. So that's where we're at for now, but I'd like to turn it over to our commissioners to discuss this, but we have had emergency declaration.
Yeah, well, I'm Dan Williams. We'll all take turns here, but I like Bob Campbell is our chair, and he's actually in the evacuation zone, so he's out looking for home tonight. Bob?
Thank you all for being here. We appreciate everything the fire departments are doing. Obviously, we all have our wonderful spots in our treasured place and home, Pikes Peak views, etc., but everybody's in the same situation that I was. Had to get the dogs out, family out, get them in cars, heading out this way. So we appreciate everybody it's doing, especially the firefighters, and we're hoping the winds die down so the state can give us some support. But with the heavy winds, they can't fly tonight, so we'll see how the rest of that goes, and thank you all for being here.
Can you kind of describe, like, is it in heavy wooded area, or is it meadows? Kind of what does it look like where you live?
Where I live is probably 80% aspen, 20% fir, and ponderosa, but it is definitely heavy wooded. I'm about a mile from Highland Lakes. It's exactly halfway between here and Highland Lakes where the fire is.
So I can tell you a lot of this is it started in an area that was heavily grassed, so the fire moved very quickly. It moved into the trees, and now we're dealing with it in the trees and in grassland areas. So it is one of those fires that's a little bit difficult because it runs very quickly. So my hope is that they can slow it down.
The other thing I would add is we did declare an emergency about 30 minutes ago, the county commissioners. We are in contact with Governor Polis. He's already reached out, offered any services that he might, which is one of the reasons you declared an emergency. Would ask if you could, on your tickers, on your reports tonight, to have people listen to the sheriff, listen to the first responders. We've got a lot of traffic out there, folks trying to get in when they should be turning around. Large animals, anything they need, animals at their houses, meds, the normal drill, just have them call the sheriff's office, look at that website. The county website's also got the emergency declaration on it. Eric?
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Jason. Sorry, get closer to the mics. Eric Stone from District 3. One of the big things, we already have traffic issues here on County Road 5, so I know a lot of people are wanting to try to get up here. Need to make sure that please stay away from these areas. Make sure you get your information from the source, from the Sheriff's Department. Situations like this, there's a lot of information that's incorrect. The only correct information you're going to get is going to come out of the Teller County Sheriff's Office. So pay attention to that, and at this point, stay away from County Road 5 trying to get in. The traffic's backed up. You won't get in. We need to make sure our first responders can get in, so please stay away from those areas.
So, folks, what I'll do is open it up to questions if you have them. and then we'll finish up, and then we'll do another media briefing here in a couple hours. Yes, ma'am.
Do we know the cause yet, or where this started originally?
Yes, we actually do know the cause and where it was started. It's an active investigation, though, so I don't want to give out a lot of information on it. But we do know it was man-made.
Any evacuation centers for large animals or whatnot?
Well, we're working that right now. This is a very quick developing fire because it happens in the middle of subdivisions. And this is one of the scariest things we deal with in Colorado is that we have that encroachment of an area that we're in the mountains, we're in the area of where the fire occurred in the middle of a subdivision, and it moves fast. So it's not like it used to be where the fires would move into subdivisions off of Forest Service property or BLMs. In Colorado now, we're dealing with the fact of very fast-moving fire inside of a subdivision is very dangerous, and it's a lot of chaos in the beginning just because we're trying to move so many people. So they are working with large animal rescue and then with smaller animals, dogs, cats, those types of things, but we're still working through those right now.
I know it's probably early to say, but it's still at 0% containment.
At this time, it's 0% containment, yes.
Do we know how many people are overall impacted? You said about 70.
Well, there's 700 homes. I'm averaging 4 people per home, so we're probably around 2,100 people displaced. That's just an average and a wild guess, I guess, from me. But 700 homes at this point.
No one injured?
No injuries at this time.
And obviously community is going to be asking for help and whatnot, so is there anything you guys need that's for the firefighters or anything else?
You know, right now, it's developing so quickly. I mean, we're only a couple hours into it. So we haven't assessed all those needs yet. We're supplying, and I think Walmart has supplied water and Gatorade and those things for the firefighters on the ground right now. We're dealing with getting them food and whatever they need. I know they have rehab units in the area so that they can help them because smoke inhalation right now, if you watch because of our inversion, that smoke is really low to the ground. So if you're driving through these areas or in those areas, you're going to get a large dose of smoke, and that's one of our concerns right now.
Does that community church have beds available for those evacuated?
I don't believe there's any beds. We do have systems if we have to bring them in to help with that. But right now, I think most people just kind of want to know what's going on. And thank you, folks, for being here to do that because really you're helping us with our eyes and ears to get people notified of what's happening.
How has the weather affected this so far, the wind, and what does it look like the next day or two going forward?
Well, it's super dry right now. It's cold, so fighting fires in the cold are never easy. And the other piece to that is we've had really high winds that are sustained, so it's pushing the fire. Now, I know that we're getting spot weather forecasts. We'll try to get that out to you as to what we're seeing in the area of the fire for tomorrow. But this cold temperature does not make things easy.
Is there any other subdivisions right around this, or is it just one kind of in the middle of the forest?
Well, there's a lot of subdivisions. It's if you kind of look at a city on how they have the different subdivisions and different communities, that's kind of what it looks like, just with heavy trees within.
Do you have any others on pre-evac?
Not yet. And in fact, actually, we'll be discussing that with the fire command here in the next few minutes on who else we may put into pre-evac. But right now, the fire is kind of dying down because it's evening. You get a little bit more moisture content. Hopefully, the winds will start to subside a little bit. So hopefully, we'll get a breather on this so we can figure out more of what's going on.
Is this threatening any more roads or whatnot? I'm not familiar with the geography.
So it's threatening County Road 51, which is our Cedar Mountain Road area, and then all the areas and roads that are within that fire evacuation zone. Well, no more questions. Thank you so much, and then we'll probably do another news briefing right around 9 o'clock. Sound good? All right. Thank you, folks.